There are thousands of sales jobs out there, and most people just pick one without really knowing what it is they're getting into. I went through hundreds of sales jobs postings to figure out which ones give you time freedom, financial freedom, and which ones will survive the AI boom of 2026 and onward. And I'm not just guessing. I myself have been in the tech sales industry for 5+ years, and I've helped over 250 people land tech sales jobs as a hiring manager. So I know the world of sales. In this video, I'm going to break down the 5 most common sales roles, what they pay, what the lifestyle is, and why one of these options is better than the rest by a mile. First up, and this one surprises people, real estate. Look, I get it. Real estate has a great reputation. TV shows, open houses, luxury listings, getting to be your own boss. Real estate looks like a dream sales job, but the reality is it's kind of a different animal. Here's the truth about the pay. It's 100% commission, and you don't even get to keep all of it. Every single deal you bring in gets split with your brokerage. On top of that, you're paying for your license, your association dues, you're paying for the MLS system, you're paying for your leads, and you're even paying for your gas. You're effectively running your own business from day one with all of the costs and risks and none of the guaranteed upside. A typical first-year agent after splits and expenses makes nearly $40K a year on average, and that's if you're doing well. Most agents don't even make a thing in their first year. Another thing is the timelines on deal cycles are killers. Deals take months to close, so even if you hustle from day one, you're still potentially 4 to 6 months away from that first paycheck coming in. Most people don't have financial runway to float that long, which is why on average most agents quit within their first 2 years. Now for the upside and why real estate makes the list. Agents who survive the first 2 years can build a very solid referral engine and do very, very well. Top producers in good markets can make multi 6 figures a year, and the very best are clearing 7 figures a year. There's no cap to your earning potential, and because your name is your brand, that referral engine compounds on itself, and your name goes from referral to referral, and your business just starts to expand rapidly. But that comes with a lifestyle cost. My mom was a real estate agent, and I remember going out on Saturdays, Sundays, driving around picking up her little yard signs that had her brand on it. And that is the sacrifice of real estate. You are free when your clients need you to be free. Showings on weekends, writing offers at 10 p.m. on a house, or taking a call at 11 p.m. because your buyer's freaking out and second guessing. Weekends basically stop being yours because that's when most of your clients are free to actually go see properties. So strong upside, but it takes a while to build that kind of business out, and you're losing a ton of freedom. So who's this right for? Someone with a strong local network, someone who's very entrepreneurial and can hustle from day one, and someone who has a good 6 to 12 months of runway to build the business. This is not a good fit for you if you're someone who needs a predictable paycheck and you don't want to work every single weekend of your life. Option number 2 is tech sales, and tech sales is the one that I always come back to with all of my friends who are evaluating sales roles, and it's because of what I've learned after 5 years of being in the industry and helping over 250 people break in. Let's start with the money, because this is where tech sales separates itself immediately. Your entry point is a role called an SDR, which stands for Sales Development Representative, and that role starts with a guaranteed base of 50 to 65K a year. So every 2 weeks, you are guaranteed to get a paycheck. This isn't a commission-only role, it's not a draw, this is a genuine salary. The commission sits on top of that, and that's what takes you from 50 to 65K base pay to 80 to 100K on-target earnings, where you've got your salary and commission married together. Total first year earnings are gonna range between that 80 to 100K range. My first SDR job was on target to be 75K. I ended up making 99K in year 1. And in 2 years of helping people get into tech sales, the average pay that I've seen for an entry-level role in tech sales is right at 86K. And by the way, this is people coming in with no tech experience and in many cases, no college degree at all. And that's just the entry-level role. The next role is called an account executive, where you actually start to close deals. It takes on average about 12 to 24 months to get there. But the beauty of that is your income goes from that 80 to 100K to 120 to 150K. And from there, your career just keeps on compounding. You can keep going down the AE track and make 200, 300, 500K, or you can pivot into leadership where they're making well over 500K a year after a few years in the industry. The other benefit is the lifestyle. Tech sales is one of the only careers where working remote is normal. 93% plus of the 250 people that I've helped break into tech sales landed a remote role, meaning they get to work from home. It's amazing. You're not stuck at a dealership floor if you're in car sales, or giving away your weekends, having to go to listings if you're in real estate. You get to work from home through Zoom meetings and do everything from the comfort of your office chair. Now, here's the part most people don't believe. You don't need to be qualified for these roles. In fact, many tech companies are looking for people that have green backgrounds so that they can teach, mold, and shape them to be the right fit for the role. These companies have ramp periods where they will give you a couple months of your pay to make sure that you have the stability you need to grow into the role. They're not hiring you for what you know, they're hiring you for your potential and how coachable you are. And these skills transfer everywhere. Once you learn the tech sales motion, the B2B buying cycle, prospecting, researching, using all of these technology workflows, you become not just an entrepreneur, but you become prime for entrepreneurship. If you can manage your own book of business within a B2B context, you can take that skill set anywhere and be wildly successful. A lot of people question how stable is tech. You always hear about these massive tech companies doing layoffs. There's two realities. One is technology is not going anywhere, especially with the advent of AI. Technology is only going to grow. Just like healthcare, it's not going anywhere. So while your company might not be recession proof and you guys might do layoffs, the industry itself is permanent and you will always be employed if you get into tech. The other thing people worry about is the job market itself, but as we can see, every single week, new companies are being funded for all of the AI development. And once you learn how to interview and how to operate in a tech sales environment, you will always have opportunities in front of you to increase your pay and have a very stable career. So tech sales is this beautiful blend of stability and wild earning potential while being in a B2B context, learning mature enterprise selling skill sets that'll carry forth into whatever other ventures you get into throughout your whole career. Real quick, if you are interested in tech sales and you have no idea where to start, there's a free training link below that you can access. It's going to break down step by step what tech sales is, how to even apply for these jobs, how to interview, and ultimately what you need to do to get hired today. Even if you have no college degree or tech experience, that training linked below is going to help you. Enjoy. Next up is insurance sales. And if I had $1 for every time in my life I heard someone say they were going to get into insurance and make 10K plus a month, I'd be rich. The image of the insurance sales rep we have in our heads is someone who's working from home in a highly flexible, highly lucrative job, steady book of clients, off every Friday, probably on the golf course. And the reality is it takes a long time and a lot of hard work to get there. Most of the pay structures you're gonna find with insurance are commission only or very commission heavy. If a company does offer a draw or a base pay, it's usually in advance on your future commissions so that when you finally earn commissions, you're actually paying the company back for them spotting you initially. Now, the more painful part of insurance is it's the grind that breaks people. When you're new and you have no book of business, where do you start? Your phone book. You're calling your family, your friends, your church. You're calling anyone you know, seeing if they're interested in buying insurance. Most new agents are told to write down a list of 100 names that they can reach out to see if they can close their first deal. And once you burn through that list of 100 people who are warm leads in your network, well, you got to go work cold leads. And you know who cold leads are? Cold leads are the mom who's making dinner for their kids at 7 p.m. getting a random cold call from you that they didn't ask for. And those cold leads don't come from nowhere. You have to buy them. You have to purchase those lists, use your own money, and try desperately to find your first deal. And this is why the burnout's so bad. Most insurance reps will quit within just the first few years before the model ever has a chance to start working for them. The way insurance is structured is so much of your pay is backloaded, which which is kind of the flip side and why so many people want to get into it. There's not many sales roles out there where you're going to make a lot of money on renewal income. If you can make it through that initial grind and you can build a book of business, every time that renewal comes, you're making money on it. So this is why you have insurance agents who have been in the game for years and can wake up on January 1st with a lot of money coming in every month because they already put in the work in the previous years. So who is insurance built for? It's someone who's patient. It's someone who understands that building that kind of business with that kind of model takes years to accumulate a book of business that's actually going to give you renewal money that will fund a lifestyle of 10, 20, 30K a month. This is someone who has a spouse who's making really good money so they can kind of build a side hustle out. It's someone who understands the long game, and it's someone who's really good at building relationships. Now, this is not for you if you're someone who needs income now, because it's going to take you at least 12 months to start to build any kind of meaningful income to replace whatever you're doing right now. Next up is one everybody has a story about, and it's usually not a good one. Yep, I'm talking about car sales. Let's move the stereotypes out of the way and just talk facts, starting with the money, because honestly, the money is better than people think. Between unit commissions, volume bonuses, manufacturer spiffs, top reps can make 100 to 150, even 200, 250K a year. But the average rep makes a fraction of that. And usually the difference comes down to skill. Now on the lifestyle front, this is where it gets rough. Car sales means you are physically tied to a dealership and working a car lot. If you're not on that lot, you're not going to make money. 50 to 60 hour weeks are normal, especially if you have someone who might close. You're going to move hell and high water to service them. And weekends aren't optional either. Saturdays are one of the biggest days of the week because that's when all the 9-to-5ers are able to come in and look for their car. You will work every single Saturday, and you're going to work holidays too, because that's where a lot of the sales and discounts and promotions come into play. And here's one of the most frustrating parts about car sales. A huge chunk of your income is not in your control. You don't control how many people walk into that lot. You don't control inventory. You don't control the deal desk and what kind of deal structure your manager is going to approve. You can do everything right and still have a bad month because of things that were out of your control. But here's why I respect car sales and why so many of my clients who came from car sales are wildly successful in tech sales. It compresses years of learning crucial sales skills within just a few weeks. You learn to read people in the first 30 seconds. You learn to handle objections on the spot, face to face with live negotiations and usually a very skeptical buyer. You learn to close the same day because typically if they leave the lot, they're not coming back. My clients with car sales backgrounds are some of the fastest clients to land jobs because they've already been through the fire. That's exactly what car sales is though. It's a training ground. The hours, the weekends, being physically tied to a car lot, so many things out of your control makes it a really good training ground. But that's essentially all it should be, a training ground, and you should take all of those valuable skills and apply them to a more stable long-term career. This brings us to our last sales role, and honestly, outside of tech sales, this one's my favorite because we're talking about door-to-door sales. If you want to get mentally tough and you want to understand what the word grit means, get a door-to-door role. First off, with the money, this is probably a surprise to people, but you can make a lot of it in door-to-door sales. The best door-to-door reps are usually in solar, pest, roofing. There's a lot of different flavors of door-to-door sales, but what you're looking for is that high ticket price because you're going to get a percentage of commission off of that. Door-to-door sales is very seasonal, and so you in a short summer can make 100K, 150K, sometimes well over 200K if you know what you're doing. Now, let me be fair, that's not the average, not even close, but there is a ton of earning potential in this field. Now, of course, the trade-off, it's the grind. Door-to-door means knocking doors, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of doors, wandering through neighborhoods where the sun is burning your head off, not knowing if the door you knock on has a giant dog behind it that's going to jump out at you when that door opens, and honestly pissing people off because you're bugging them in the middle of their day at their place of sanctity and peace, their home. Like many other sales roles, there's a lot of rejection. You might knock 100 doors just to have 10 conversations and hopefully a sale. After walking around for 6 to 8 hours, your body feels it, but your mind feels it even more. And as I mentioned, it's seasonal, which means your income is seasonal. Most door-to-door companies run summer programs because that's when we're looking at things like solar, pest control, things like that. You'll make your money in a 4 to 5 month window, often working for a team, but when that season ends, the turnover begins. And if you've got family, to move to another city to go do door-to-door for 4 to 5 months isn't a great way to show up as a parent. Out of all 5 jobs we've looked at, I can say confidently that door-to-door sales has the highest washout rate of any of the other jobs we've looked at. But here's what door-to-door builds better than any of the other sales roles we've talked about: an immunity to rejection. It also teaches you how to develop opportunities out of nothing. And I mean, when you're walking up to a door, you're looking for anything on that house to try to build some rapport with your leads so they don't slam the door shut in your face. There's no leads, there's no marketing, there's no inbound. It's just you and that door. I get so fired up when I see door-to-door reps transitioning into tech sales, because if you've been through door-to-door, you've been through hell and you survived. You're going to absolutely crush tech sales. So door-to-door is a really good starting point, especially for people young in their career, to get the reps, go through rejection, and learn how to be a competent seller. But it's definitely not the destination. The seasonality, the travel, the physical toll, the uncertainty, it's just not a place where you're going to build a 10, 20, 30-year career. Do it young, bank the money, develop the mental fortitude and the resilience, and then go find something that's going to scale way better in the future. Now, disclaimer, every single one of these sales roles have people doing wild numbers in them and who are extremely successful. But when you stack them up against each other for pay, freedom, career mobility, and how quickly you can get in, tech sales beats all of them every single time. You don't need a degree, you don't need tech experience, and you don't need to wait years before you see a return on your work ethic. My clients who are breaking into tech sales are landing their first 80 to 90K job offer in an average of 36 days. I've helped over 250 people make this transition with a 100% success rate. So if you're interested in learning about how to start a career in tech sales, click the link below. It'll take you to a free training that shows you the step-by-step guide. I'll see you on the next one.